This is Amber Stevens, also AmberSellsNoVA, if you follow me online. And I am here today with the one, the only, Tyler Hupka from Day One Mortgage. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, Amber. I really appreciate that introduction. That was a very great intro. I'm Tyler Hupka. I'm a lender with Day One Mortgage. Uh,
Yep, I was hooked up with Tyler by our brokerage. He is a veteran, which you know me, I love working with veterans. I'm a military spouse. Literally, I think 95% of my clientele is pretty, pretty VA veteran
Absolutely.
heavy. So it was really important to me to partner with a lender who had that background and, could work with my clients in the best way possible and speak the language and understand, the struggles and that kind of thing. So tell us the service you were in, give us a little background.
I spent 8 years in the U.S. Navy.
Mhm.
It's funny because they get the question a lot of, hey, what ship were you on? Because I was Navy, but I worked in cyber intel the whole time. So, I was behind the wire. But yeah, I definitely, I loved it. I enjoyed what I did. I worked with different agencies, whether it be, NCIS or NSA, or so I've done different background in definitely that cyber field. But it gave me, a great skill set for analytics, and I'm very detail oriented with what I do. And I've been a big finance market nerd kind of my whole life. And even when I was in the military, I did a lot of classes and teachings with different civilians and service members on the market and with their 401ks and TSP and things like that. So I love it. Got out of the military. My family here in the background of real estate, they've been in real estate for a while. So I got my lender's license. I've been a lender for going to my fifth year now. And so yeah, I love what I do.
Yep, and you're killing it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
No one,
it.
no one better to have on my side for sure.
Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, well, awesome. So Tyler and me are here today, and we're going to talk to you guys about first time home buying, what to do, what not to do, like buy a car,
That's very
and
good.
what you can do to prepare, even if you're not exactly trying to buy right now. You want to keep an eye on the market, you're thinking about selling, whatever the situation is, what can you do right now? And also, I'm going to ask Tyler about some of the programs that make it a little bit less scary.
So that's a great question. And I talk to a lot of buyers right now, where there's a little bit apprehension because rates are a little bit higher than normal, which is totally valid. I get that
Mhm.
concern. But in general, I would say the best thing you can do is talk to qualified real estate professionals, a good agent, a good lender, and give us a
I.e.
call.
us.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, for sure, and I mean that in a very
Yeah.
legitimate way. It definitely helps to see your finances and the situation that you're in, and kind of plan out the path. I would say start a good, if you're going to buy in 2 months or 3 months, start early and really get pre-qualified. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's totally free to you. You can apply online. We can see, get your finances in order, see if you need to save a little more cash, see if maybe you need to get your credit score up a little bit, or you could be totally fine. But it's also good to know how much you can purchase up to, kind of see the payment ahead of time, kind of
Yeah,
judge what you want to afford and what you're comfortable with.
sure. Are there
And I
any
think
are there any hacks or tips or tricks that someone can do to kind of bump up that credit score when they have a couple of months?
there is for sure. I think the general statement I would say for a lot of people is pay down credit cards. It seems like a simple answer, but more often than not, if you have high credit card balances, that's going to be the quickest thing to bump it up. I will say too, we have a really good credit program with Day One, totally free to you as a borrower. You can put you in the program, they give you a whole PDF sheet, exactly what to do step by step to get your score up to a certain amount. And even somebody with a good credit, let's say you're at 720 and you want to get to a 780, they'll give you a whole step by step process of what to do and how to get there. But no, I would say for sure, for first time home buyer, many first time home buyers have an impression that you need 20% down or you need 10% down, but you don't really need that much cash to purchase a home. There's a lot of programs for no money down. There's some programs for 3% down. And like, as you alluded to, there's a lot of grants and programs out there, especially in Virginia,
Mhm.
that you can get closing cost assistance or down payment assistance. So it doesn't really take as much cash as you might think. And everybody's situation is a little bit different. That's why talking to a lender and getting pre-approved and having me go through everything and see what program works best for you is really the best option.
Absolutely. And all that is absolutely free. It's obligation free. It
Yeah,
doesn't cost anyone anything. It's literally just a conversation.
yeah,
So
absolutely. And
10
I think
minutes of your time can,
absolutely, and
save so
not to cut
much
you off,
money.
try not to cut you off. The one thing
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
a lot too is people go, "Hey, what about my credit score? If I pull credit, is it going to hurt my score?" And
Yeah.
there might be the most minor of hits, maybe 2 or 3 points down, and it's totally worth seeing and building out the whole picture, and then
Oh,
within a
yeah.
month or 2, your score goes right back up. So,
Absolutely. It's gonna hurt your credit score more not to, and then keep
for
doing
sure.
keep doing
Yeah,
things like
and
charging and
yeah. And you'll get total
yeah.
peace of mind to see it all on paper, to know exactly what it looks like, to see the different payment options, see the different rate options,
Mhm.
and I can see your file in live time, and if rates come back down, or if there's a moment where you think you might wanna lock in or purchase something, you're ready to go right away, and there's nothing
Absolutely. And I always tell my VA buyers, like, you literally have no reason not to buy because it's a 0% down payment.
for
Like,
sure, and
come
I think
on.
yeah, and
So
that's a whole nother
yeah,
topic where it's like, most rent is more than a mortgage payment, and
absolutely.
if you're putting it towards a mortgage, it's an asset that you own, that's gonna
Yeah.
go up in value, that you own that asset, and, rent is just going to rent. There's just
Yeah,
nothing
it's
much
going
to
to
put
your
on it.
landlord's future
Yeah,
wealth. So paying rent is paying into your landlord's future wealth. That is paying off their mortgage. That is
yeah,
giving them money for, their pockets for the next, 20, 50 years. That is only helping them. And
for
how
sure.
many people like their landlord? Why do you want to help them? Help yourself. You
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
pay into your future wealth,
yeah,
like
yeah,
your home, your equity, all of that. That's your
absolutely.
nest egg for the
I think there's
future.
just a lot of people out there that
Yeah.
don't think that they can own a home, or that they need a ton
Mhm.
of cash to own a home, or that the
Yeah.
mortgage is gonna be expensive. And it isn't, and not as much as you might think it is. And I
Mhm.
think it's great just to know that, hey, it doesn't cost you anything. You can give Amber a call, give me a call. We'll get you on track, and you can see the payment. You can see how much cash you might need, and it's going to surprise you. It's not as anything near you that you might think it is. It's a lot
Oh,
cheaper.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm always blown away when especially, again, military, 'cause I work with so many, they move around so much and they never buy. They just rent everywhere they move
Yeah.
because they're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be there." And it's just like, "Oh my gosh, you get BAH."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
come
And
on.
and on the outside of that, I've worked with military members who have like a mini little real estate empire. They
Yeah,
have a home here and a home there and a home there, and they all
they
rent it
make
out, and
so much
they
passive
they
income.
just
Oh my
buy
God.
everywhere they go, and yeah,
Yeah,
by the time they get out, they have retirement pay, they have disability pay, and they have 3 or 4 properties, and they're all rented out, and that's all through just
absolutely.
using the VA loan and
Yeah.
buying prime residences. So,
And one of the amazing things is the VA loan is assumable. So you could assume that 2.5% interest rate that somebody got 3 years ago. I mean,
yeah, that's a
there's
whole
so many
nother,
good things to it.
we can have a whole other topic and video on that, but it's
Yes,
really a little bit
we
of both.
will.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no,
We
it's a
will. We
great
won't get into that one this one, but that you can assume that interest rate, and that's especially helpful for
Mhm,
right now, what we're seeing.
yeah,
But Tyler and I
absolutely.
were talking. So right now with the interest rates, yes, they're a little bit high, but from my point as a real estate agent, I'm seeing that so many buyers are dropping out because they don't want to deal with the high interest rate, so it's leaving for little to no competition on homes. So the buyers actually have a lot more power right now, where we're seeing that we're putting in for contingencies, which means we're asking to get home inspections, we're asking for everything, for
Yeah,
fixes,
um,
repairs, like
just general
it's
closing
great.
costs,
Yeah,
closing costs are
closing
really
cost
popular. Yeah,
assistance. Yes, I
yeah,
got my one of my clients that we closed, I got them 3% closing assistance, which means that the seller paid the client 3%, which was basically all of their closing costs at
yeah.
closing. So it was beautiful.
And there's a lot of ways it's awesome. There's a lot of ways
Yeah.
to use closing cost assistance. I mean, you
Yeah.
can use it towards, the rate even. You can buy down your rate a little bit and
Yep.
offset that with closing cost assistance. So, no,
Offset the interest rate.
yeah, there you go, yeah. And what you're saying is totally true. I think right now, for years, we've been in such a seller's market. Everything going up very drastically year by year, which is great for the housing market.
Mhm.
And then, but a lot of times buyers were coming in going 20 grand over, 30 grand over asking price. It was a very crazy market, especially throughout 2020, 2021. We have a bit of a normalized market now. It's slowing down, but it's allowing buyers to really regain some of that power. Buyers get seller credit, like you said, they have you just have a lot more negotiating power as a buyer right now, and sales prices are starting to come down a little bit, which is kind of soften a little
Mhm.
bit, which is great. So I definitely think right now, as a buyer, there is going to be a good opportunities out there. If you get a home that's a little bit cheaper than you expected, you can get usually seller credit. Sometimes depends on the
Mhm.
home, but it definitely, the worry on the rate, I think, is a little bit overblown. Rates are still very historically good, and you can always refinance in the future. So that there's you're not married to that rate forever. There's going to be times when those rates come back down. You can refinance in the future, but in the meantime, you can get into that home that you really want, that you love, and you can build equity in it and be paying a mortgage payment instead of rent. and you
Absolutely.
might be able to get it for cheaper than you thought, and with some seller credit, and you can use that seller credit towards closing costs or to save on money in your own pocket, things like that.
What is some of your favorite programs for first time home buyers? Just to
Yeah,
get them excited.
yeah, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
particularly in Virginia, we
Mhm.
have a very, very, very good the Virginia Housing Development Authority. It's Virginia's own kind of state program. They have the same loans offered as any other. They have VA, they have conventional, they have FHA, USDA, but Virginia themselves offer the program. So you get qualified with me as regular, and then we work with VHDA through their loan program to get you through their underwriting process. But what they allow for is a lot of grants for first-time home buyers. There's down payment assistance, closing cost assistance. There's a mortgage credit certificate. What that all amounts to is a lot less money out of the buyer's pocket. Usually, it's 2% or so that Virginia will offer towards closing cost or down payment assistance. So it really does. It kind of means you could get into a home for as little as 1% or 2% down. So yeah, Virginia has a really good first-time home buyer program. And then in
Yeah.
general, being a first-time home buyer just usually nets you different benefits with almost every program you're going to use,
Yeah.
whether it be less money down or yeah. So being a first home buyer is great. And I wanted to mention on here because I mentioned it before, but
Yes, I was gonna ask.
yeah, I wanted
I
to
knew
say
what you
it
were
just
gonna
came to
say.
me. It just came to me. But no, a lot of people they don't realize you can become a first time home buyer again. If you haven't owned a home in 3 years, you are a first time home buyer. So, if you owned a home years ago, you sold it, you started renting, and if it's been 3 years, you are a first time home buyer again. So you do qualify for those programs.
Yep, that is awesome. See, there's always ways. There's ways we can make this happen,
Absolutely. And in
guys.
general, again, I'd say the best thing you can do is just reach out. Give Amber a call, give me
Mhm.
a call, and just check out the situation. It doesn't cost you anything. It's totally free. You can just see, hey, what's your situation? How much cash might you need, or do you need to pay off a credit card, or are you just ready to go already? It could be totally good to go, and that way you can get a feel of what the payment might be, what the loan amount might be, and just kind of get a feel for the situation. Um,
Absolutely. No, I really appreciate it. I mean, this is great. We're just kind of starting this, so we'll see. We're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
cover more topics as we go, but I thought this was
Definitely.
really
I would
good.
say,
Yeah.
anybody that does watch, please reach out, let us know like different topics you want to hear about or
Hmm.
things that interest you, and then that way we can include it in future videos. But absolutely,
Absolutely.
always open to discussion. I love talking to Amber. It's always great working with you, and yeah, it's great.
Yep, and we work really well together. And so
Absolutely.
we
Yeah.
just again want to like flip the narrative. We know we hear from the news, we hear from everywhere, but as people in the business who work every day in this, we just kind of wanted to give like, our side of things and just make sure that people know like it's still possible, it's still good. Honestly, fall is a great time to buy or sell because, a lot of other people are doing the Christmas and the holiday stuff. And so right now, it's kind of everyone's downtime. So
For
you
sure.
get
Yeah.
you get the full attention of us.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely, and like you said, I think a lot of people for a while have been waiting
Yeah.
for a little bit of a buyer's market to come around, and it's getting there. I mean, we're in it. You're going to get towards that buyer's market, and it's
Yeah,
time for if you're a buyer out there, get pre-qualified and get ready, and that way you can go jump on a home that you love and get it at a good price.
absolutely. And you're already cleaning and organizing and decluttering, getting ready for family. So,
Yeah,
two birds, one stone.
absolutely, absolutely,
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tyler. I really appreciate this. This was a lot of
absolutely.
fun.
Look forward to the next one. Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Me too. All right.